Once you've refreshed the report for the first time and effectively activated the preview tab as we have here, Crystal Reports will not go back to the database to see if there's any changes at all in the number of records, less, more, or changes to any of the individual records, unless you physically tell it to. So you could save this report, we could close the report, we could reopen the report, and unless you've actually told it to physically go refresh the data, it won't until you manually tell it to refresh the data. Now there's a number of ways of doing that. Now you could be in design or preview, it doesn't matter where you are when you ask it to refresh the data, but the icons for refreshing are this little two-headed arrow here. So there's one on this little mini navigation pane which you can click. It asks you if you want to refresh the report data, you say OK, and it goes back to the database and brings the latest information. The reason that it isn't automated and it is physically manual is because that database could be 10,000 miles away, located on a web server, and the last thing you want is every time you preview the report to wait for it to pull the latest data down. It would be quicker to go from design to preview. Preview contains the last time you refreshed it. You want the latest information, you refresh. And we have a refresh icon here, or on the report menu we have refresh. Or you'll have noticed in both those places there is a keyboard shortcut for refresh, which is F5. Does the same thing, refresh the report data, OK. That has the emphasis on the OK button, so you can press enter. And luckily, not by accident, the F5 refresh key is the same as that for all browsers. So anybody used to using the net will be used to using F5, and hey presto, it's the same keyboard shortcut in Crystal Reports. Now you can do the F5 when you're in design, you don't need to be in preview. And refresh the report data, OK. And what you'll find by refreshing the report data, it jumps into preview anyway. So that's saved you a click, you just refresh and it will go into the preview mode. Whenever you refresh, you'll notice that the time changes here. So this is the date and the time that the report was last refreshed. So every time you refresh, that will update itself. So you know when you open a report and you look down here and it's 3 months out of date, you possibly might think that it could do with refreshing by having another look at the database to see if anything has changed. So that's refreshing the report data. Manual process. Refresh, report, refresh, F5. Report refreshes itself, always asks if you're OK about that. We are OK. And you'll have noticed there, the keen amongst you, that the time has moved forward 1 minute. Now if you close the preview pane every time you close the report, then effectively you are going to need to refresh the data every time you come in because there is no preview pane in existence. So going to preview will pull the latest data in, therefore refreshing the report.